Welcome to part 4 of our Lean Design video training course featuring Nick Hunter. So in part 4, we're picking up the conversation about how to double click with the FileMaker platform, which means that you have to script it to look for that. Additionally, we're going to start the conversation about the Accordion Tab, which is a really cool user design or a visual design tool that you can use to clearly communicate with your user interface. So let's get this started.
So double click. The thing here, what took me time to figure out, and that I want to thank my friend Tom from FileMaker that took time to explain me. So here how it works. First, what you do, you have the first click. What the first click does, the first click set up a global variable with the number of clicks. That will be 1. If I go here, I see my click is click number 1. Then I have a pause for 1/10 of a second, right? So I said, okay, I set the variable, I set the field with the select one. Actually, what I'm doing is this. The first is I select this, The first click, select. So the first click, do this. You set the variable, the click number, then you set the field, and then I pause for 1/10 of a second. If the click number is not 2, if the click number is 2, then it continues, it do something else. But if it's not 2, if after that, right, it's not 2, then it skips this and then go commit variable and close. So that means the first click. So how I get the system to tell me how I get the second click, right? This is a secret. Let's do that. I click 1 and I do this, and I kill. I repeat. I click. I do the first click. Then I set the field. Then I have this pause. And I killed. Now, you see the click number is increasing. Click, because let's do it completely. So no click here. I click here, and then I have the click number 1, set the field, and then I kill. I kill the script. Blam. Click number is 1. Why? Because the script didn't finish its job to wipe out the global variable because I killed it. I killed it in the middle. I create click number 1 and then kill. So the variable stay there. Hold on. Then now that the first click did, I click again. So the second click, right? I click again, second click. So now my click number is number 2. My click number is 2, right? Now my click number kicks in, show the dialog, continue the script, wipes the global variable, and so how I kill this freaking, so first click launch, second click killed, and relaunch. First click launch, second click killed and relaunch, while the script is waiting the 1/10 of the second. So, because I'm using, and that was the breakthrough of this technique, because I stayed there for a month, to be honest with you. The breakthrough of this technique is when I finally understood that I need to use the halt current script. Each time I click on this button, it halts whatever script is there. So the secret here is to the first click do something, and then when you double click, so click, see? So with this technique here, the big advantage of this is that you can even, if you don't want the double click to be too fast, you can make it slower, exactly like we have here, because I want to reproduce the same thing as the system. I don't know where it is. Mouse, yeah. Double click speed. You see here, you can make fast, slow. That means if slow means double click, it works, right? Slow, it's click, very slow. So if I go there, if I do again click, 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 it doesn't happen. I need to click, click, and then it happens. It's faster. So I reproduce exactly the same technique here. So you can make it slower. Let's say I want 1 second a delay. See, it works. So click, click, bam, you get it, right? So you can make it slower or faster depending on your taste. You can even have a preference somewhere saying that, oh, I want my click to be fast or slow. Tenth of a second I think is good. 1 second is a lot, but a tenth of a second is good. Is double click, and you have the click, click. It's kind of cool. So the advantage of this technique for the double click, it works 100% all the time. It reproduces exactly like the OS is working, and it's not a hack. Okay, it's not a hack. So you understand that all what I'm explaining here is to get you to the lean design. And lean, because I don't know if you noticed, but everything, all the scripts are very simple. They're straightforward. They don't have complexity. So, and more you will see things. You will see that everything very simple, like the double click. What's a double click? A variable? It's a variable. That's it. It's a variable and an if statement. That's my double click. So there's nothing like if this and that and else if and bam bam. You don't have this. You are very straightforward. That's why that's why I was telling yesterday. I was talking about the good recipe between the component of FileMaker, is because here the good recipe was the variable, the script waiting, right, and the killing underneath with the button action, right? So that was the good recipe, was these three things. If you attempt to do that using script only, it will never work, right? You needed this halt scripts, halt script stuff. So I'm going to show you guys stuff very cool. Look, I love my customers. So that's the first thing I need to say. I was saying that because I want to treat them well, and the first thing I want to give them is I help them to use my production, and I love when people doesn't call me at all, and they start using it, and after a week I call them and say, everything all right? Are you using the thing? Oh yeah, every day, because I didn't hear from you. Yeah, but there's nothing to say. Okay, so that is the good thing, right? So, and the first thing that can help your customers is using the tooltips. But let's be honest, tooltips is boring. It's like time consuming and stuff like that, right? So how we can make the tooltip to work in an efficient way without to be a hassle, right? So here a quick demo, right? So here I have here a nice tooltip that explains what this field is doing. Show the name of the account for each record. Okay, so tooltip, right? And then you have here another tooltip. So you have two tooltips here, right? So, but here, let's say I have a tooltip here, but I want to reproduce this tooltip to other layout, to another field. Let's say, I have another field here. I have another layout. I create a new layout. And I have that's a layout targeting the same table, right? Or whatever table. Actually, it could be any table, but I like to use this one. So, and I want the account name, okay? Account name. And I want to attach the tooltip on this. So, do I need to, for each layout, go there and type my tooltip and stuff like that? No, here. So, you want to type the tooltip here for each layout, for each object of each layout? Heck no. You don't want that at all, and I don't, So what you do, you go there. Let me go back here. You copy your calc, right? You copy it, and you go there, you paste it, and you go, and you have your tooltip, right? Hold on. Now I go there, and I duplicate this, and I want another one. I want this script here. I just duplicated. I duplicated the field. I redo. I have this here. I duplicate the field. Then I repurpose the field. I select another field and select this one. How the heck I could get the tooltip that goes with the field. I duplicate the account name with the calculation of the tooltip. I repurpose the field. I didn't change the calculation, and I have the tooltip going with. How the magic? Here's the magic. You go to the schema, and here what you do, what you see. I'll let you see, guys. You have what we call the field comments. So you get two advantages here. Three advantages. First, you type your tooltip in the field command, which gives you an explanation of what the field is doing as well in the schema.
Can you get the... Oh.
Of course.
So you just got me. I got you, now you got me. I did not know that. You can do a get function to get that comment?
Yes.
Ah.
So, thank you guys. So, you can type, for example, let's say, let's take this field here. Say, okay, hello, how are you? Okay. So, I go there. I duplicate this. That's most of the time how you create a field. You duplicate one and then, I don't remember which one it was. It was the filter project. Okay. Hello, how are you? So, now another demo. Let's say I have 5 times 6 times a layout. I have 5 times 6 times a layout that point to this field.
500 or 600 layouts.
No, 5 or 6 layouts,
5 or 6, okay.
or 10 or 20 that go. Oh, let's say I have a layout for WebDirect. I have a layout for desktop. I have another layout where I'm showing this field. I'm showing this field in a relationship because that works too. Do you want to go to each layout and modify the tooltip if you want to modify it? Yeah, no, you don't want that. So you agree I have different layout. This is a layout, this is a layout, this is a layout. Okay. So now this tooltip here is hello, how are you? And I'm going to change it to I'm fine here in California. Okay? Okay, so I changed this, and now I'm going here and I have the I'm fine here from California, and I'm going to each one of the layout, and I have I'm fine here from California. On each layout, all layout, I have the tooltip spreading from this field. And I repeat, the big advantage is that you have an explanation of what the field is doing. I show you because this is something I'm using with a solution.
People want to see the calculation.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I will show you. I will show you. Don't worry. I just want to show you something here. I want to show you that I am using that actually in a real world. Every single fields have comments. The fields has comments because when I build something for RCC, that is what RCC customers is getting from me. Is that they have scripts commanding, they have a field commanding, and of course I get this. The advantage is that I get the tooltip going with, right? So you go to all the layouts, that all the table that matters. You have a comments here. See, you have a comment on what that's doing. Takes time, but when you go back in 10 years, 10 years from there, you will be happy. So the calculation, okay, no, it's very simple actually. This is a calc. So you have, FileMaker has a field comments function, and you select the file name you want to get the comment. Actually, I put the get file name. That means I want the file name of the current one, and I get the field name of self.
Wait. The field comment, is that your custom function?
No, that's FileMaker's.
It is?
Yes. For decades.
29 years I've never seen it, so that's...
Yeah, you know why? I know why. Because you know the section I love the most to explore in the custom function are the design function. I love the design functions. I'm using them all the time, and it's really, really important, very great. Like the script idea, the table IDs, the value lists, the get value list. That's so awesome. I have one I love in particular using all the time. Here, I have a calculation, and you want a value list in the calculation, and you say, okay, value list item. Okay. The field name, you say, okay, the file name you want get file name. So the file name is the one you have now. And the value list is, let's say, cities. Cities. So I have the value list. I have the content of the value list. So hold a second. Imagine the power of this stuff. Imagine the power of this when you have a value list that is related to a relationship. When you have a relation, when you have a value list that can change, then you can get the result of a value list calculation. The value list calculation, that's something I'm not covering, but the value list relationships method is very particular. I don't know if you noticed that, because it's cross occurrence, it's cross context. You can get a relationship. You are in the table A, and you want and you have a value list with a relationship from table G and F, for example. You can get the result of this one. You cross context. You don't need to have your current context linked to this. So if you want to get values and do a kind of I don't know, most of the time what I say, okay, I want I'm getting the get value of this, and I want the value number 3. This is the third value of of this. So it's great to do that. And yeah, go ahead.
So we do have a question here. So people are loving that. It does it automatically as it's automatic. The person is asking a really great question. It's Dimitri. And he says, well, what about a multilingual solution?
Multi-language solution. If you want to explore but they remove this, the sample file, the FM server sample file.
Yeah.
It's a multi-language file that I built. It's awesome underneath, but they remove the admin accounts, so we can't get there anymore. But the multi-language, you need to you don't have another choice than to go to our records. You cannot use this technique. That's the answer. The answer is no. Don't use this. You cannot use this technique for multi-language stuff. Let me move on. Get quickly to okay. That's something that I love to use all the time. I'm using a lot of merge fields because they are cooler to organize, and especially in list view, you can concatenate multiple fields in one, and then you don't waste space. So pretty much what I love to do is something like that. So let's say you have those 2 fields here, and you want to make something like that and like that. You want to do something like that. But if you do like that, you have a waste of space here. What you want to do is to merge this one and merge this one together and put maybe a pipe together, and then you want to get this instead. Let me show you this in black. And so you want to do this smart hello world, not smart hello world like that, right? So you want to do something like that. So I'm using a lot of merge field, and sometimes the merge field are buried into a relationship like that. You want this as a merge field. So here what I'm doing, to the rush field, you need to do this and go there, select your field, etc., etc., etc. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the field in the layout, or if I have a field, let's say you have a field in the layout, you double click and you validate. You open, you double click, you edit the field, you specify the field, you validate this, and then you go merge field, and the merge field lands exactly where you were when you edit the field, and then you have your merge field for free. It's there. So very, very simple. You edit the field, you validate, you don't change anything, you just edit, you validate, and then you go merge field, and you get directly to the thing.
I just want to jump in real quick. So I got a couple comments here, and I just wanted to hammer this because this is not about, Nick up showing off or any of that kind of stuff. The reason we do this is to make you more successful. I know this is really stupid. You're going to find a lot of people in life who, they just kind of do their own thing and they're focused on what they're doing, and that's great. And I'm sure a lot of you are like that. But Nick and I spend a lot of time giving back to the community. And so the conversation about Nick is, yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah, he's smart, but he spends a ton of time sharing everything. He would sit in here every day if we let him. But that being said, we're here to make your solutions better. We want you to be successful with the FileMaker platform. If you just jump in and learn it yourself, you will be mostly successful, but we can help you become much more successful.
Get to the next level.
Yeah, and make the solutions faster. Your customers will be happier. Your boss will be happier. Whoever you report to, if you're building your own solution, then you'll be happier because it works better. But it's all about, Nick, it's about us, frankly, building and helping you and making things better.
I want to show you a technique I'm using a lot. Okay, I'm saying that with quotes. So let's say what I want to do here, I want to hide those objects with the hide function. So there's multiple ways to do it. Is to hide the object, you select all of them, and then you put your calculation here. So all the object has the hidden condition. This is a wrong technique. This is bad. This is dirty, because can you imagine all the calculation, unnecessary calculation that you have here in the layout? So this is no good. Another technique you have to group them, right? And so you group them here, you go group, right? And then you apply the calculation, the hidden calculation to the group. And then it's hidden, right? So, but this great and not is because now you have to deal with a group. If you ungroup it, you lose the calculation. See, it's lost. So, and FileMaker so far didn't figure out how to prevent that to happen. So I hate that when unfortunately, sometimes I ungroup something and I didn't know I ungrouped it, and then I lost the calculation, and then I can't even undo it because I did too many changes and stuff like that. So I hate that when it happened. So I avoid grouping for the hidden state and stuff like that. So how you can do that? You use a slide control. You draw a slide control, and here you can see you create a slide control with a unique slide control. Here you have 3, 1, 2, 3. You said you want only one. You have one panel. You remove the dots and you remove the gesture. So now you have this panel here, right? You have a panel here. You can put in the background. Okay, and then you have your object here. You have your object here. And you put them inside. So I want you to see what happened in the object. I want you to see what happened here. See those objects here? Those are all the objects I've selected here. You see they're all here. This is a slide control. This is the slide control with this. If I'm dragging this inside here, what happened is they are now inside the panel. So this now, those objects are inside the panel. You can see I don't even need to select all of them to move them. I can just move them by selecting the panel. And now that I have a panel, I can put a 1 on the panel. That means I can have access to the fields and the the labels and stuff like that without to ungroup anything, without to lose anything, because I have a panel underneath, and that's all those objects are embedded in a panel. So this technique is great for that. So of course you can put a minimal slide panel. Actually, that's why FileMaker grade this, is to make the panel invisible. It's there. See, it's there, and my objects are hidden just because the panel has the calculation. So if I remove, now you can see them.
Okay, this is a big performance tip.
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay, so instead of it evaluating the hidden condition on every single object, it does it
once. And you don't have the impediment of having a group of objects that if you need to ungroup them, even though I have to admit FileMaker did a good job. On a very good job.
That was 17, right? That was
17. Yeah. But even though sometime, when you have complex layouts and stuff like that, you have a lot of group stuff and you have a lot of hidden stuff, especially when you have the design I'm using. It's all about hiding and showing things and stuff like that. So I'm using the hidden conditional a lot. So this technique is great for that because you can. And then even if you want, even when you want to move something, see, you want to move this around, you can move it really easily. That jumped me to another technique that I want to demonstrate here is the accordion tab. So the accordion tab is tab 1, okay? So let's say you have a tab 1 here. You put on top of here, you put a tab 1, okay? And then here on the bottom, you put a tab 2 and tab 3, okay? So tab 2 and tab 3, okay? This one is going to, so you have the, I don't know, I don't have my script unfortunately, but you can go to lay objects and you say slide 1. Okay, so let's do again. So and you have the tab number 2 and the tab number 3. So this is for the accordion tab. Okay, so tab 2 that goes to the slide 2, and tab 3 that goes to the tab 3. See, it's very simple when you deal with numbers because you know, it's easy to do. Then here now I have only one tab, so I'm creating another one and another one. So I have 3 tabs. The first tab here, the name of the tab. Let's put the name of the tab here. See the name of the slide. You have 3 slide, 3 panel, 1, 2, and 3. So the first one, let's put slide number 1. Okay. And here you say slide 2, and here you say slide 3, right? So now I have 3 slides. So let me put just a number here, 1, and I put, you know, like, oops. Okay. So this is slide number 2, and this is slide number 3. Oops. 2 and number 3. Okay, so now you can see I have slide 1, 2, okay, tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, right? So now, so if I go there, tab 1, if I click here, I'm going to tab 2, right? So far, so good. So now, here what you do, how you build the accordion tab. So you copy those 3 tabs here, okay? You double click here, and then you go to the other tab here and you paste them. So now I have okay, sorry for my poor alignment, but I want to make it click very quick. So this is a tab 2, so you bring the tab 2 on top of it, and you reproduce the same technique here for the tab number 3. Sorry for my alignment, it's terrible, but this is for the demo. So now I have an accordion tab 2, tab 3, tab 2, tab 1, tab 3, tab 2, tab 1. I have my accordion bar. Very quick, very simple, using the slide control. So it's very simple to transform kind of the original technique I used for the single panel. Sometimes say, hey, a customer say, can I have the address of the guy and the address of his friend and the address of his girlfriend and stuff like that? Yeah, okay. So let's add some tabs and stuff like that. So you don't need to move anything in the layout. Just you take this and you add a panel and you said 3 panel and you have the tab control. That means you can have long names in the tab. You're not, especially because I'm using accordion tab when you have a small space, okay, or a big space with long names, right? So this is very cool. So I have another thing I want to show you guys before we leave. It's just something very quick. Let's say I have this object. This object is positioned here, okay. Let's say I want to position the object here, okay. This object is here, okay. And I want to copy paste in another layout, right? I create another layout, okay, and I paste it. What happened? It's off over there. You don't know why. It goes where you want to go, okay? So how we can do, I want that to copy this and to paste in the layout exactly at the same spot. I want to paste this where at the same coordinates where I copy it. You go to the next layout. Go to the layout. You in layout mode. You in layout mode. You go browse mode once, layout mode back, and paste. Bam. Exactly at the same place.
Normally, I'd be using the position tab to put the little.
Yeah, you don't need. Okay, one more time. Okay, I moved it. I go there. If I paste it, it will go somewhere.
It goes wherever.
Okay. So I am in layout mode.
Okay.
I go browse mode once. I go back to layout mode and I paste. So that saved me a lot of time, because most of the time, especially when you have a design like that, where you have object always at the same place and stuff like that. So copy, you go to the other layout, okay, you say browse mode, layout mode, boom, and you paste. So this is great. Okay, so I don't want to stay too long here. Oh, the image mask. You can see this. I love it. You see my nice medallion. How you call that? Medallion. It's nice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How I do that? With Photoshop and stuff like that? Because this is the original photo.
Yeah, okay. I know this one only from the standpoint that you put it in starting point.
Yeah.
And then I want to know what the hell you did.
Yeah. So
Right?
that
Like, it's in my starting point. What did you do?
Okay. Very simple. So let's say I have this image. Okay. So I go to my layout here. Very simple. So I'm going to wipe this. I have an image here. So I have this big image of Anakin, and I want a medallion about that. So actually I can create a container. Let's be clean, and I don't want people to say this is a hack. So so I have a container here, and I want to make that a medallion. Medallion. Yeah, I have to be careful. So I'm going to show the border of this, so then I can see it. So now I create a slide control, a unique slide control. Still, I remove this and remove that, and I make it a minimal slide control. Actually, not yet. I'll show you why. And inside the slide control here, I'm saying that you have multiple objects. A slide control is made out of multiple objects. So, and you want the slide control panel, and the panel here in the corner radius control, you put 100. So you have a round stuff here. So to have a round, you say 200 and 200. Okay. So I have a round thing here, right? So now so this is a slide control. So now I'm taking this picture, I'm making smaller, the container, I'm making smaller. Then the container can go, and I place it in the middle of the slide control. So now I can move, I move the slide control in the slide control. In one panel, you have the container. And now what I'm doing here, I'm making this bigger. I'm using the corner. I'm not moving the file, the object. I'm just moving the corner here, right? And I try to place the name here in the center, right? And then I have a medallion. I repeat it. So I have this outside. This is not a medallion. This is a container. So you make it smaller. You place it in the center, and then you use those. See, if you move it, bam, it's outside. See, it's outside now. If you move it, it's not good. You don't. That's why you place it in the middle. You don't move it. You just resize it. You resize it, and you make it the way you want it to be. You start to have the name in the center, and you have your middle.
Move it right now.
If you move it, it's off.
It's gone.
It's gone. If you move, bam, it's over. Okay. So, yes, this is a hack. I accept it. See, this is a hack, but look, it's cool.
Yeah, cool hacks are good.
Yeah, so it's cool because you still have access to the full window, to the full photo if you want to click here. So this is cool.
I appreciate everyone. Thank you very much. We'll catch you tomorrow. And for now, this is Richard Carlton, production engineer, Charles Massey, senior design architect, Nick Hunter, and we'll catch you next time.
just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected, the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.